This project focused on assessing the working conditions, safety risks, and ergonomic challenges faced by municipal grass cutting workers under Environment Idaman Sdn Bhd. The picture shows the figure Environment Idaman Sdn Bhd at Kanga. The initial site visit took place at the company main office in the Kanga, where we meet with the person in charge and observe how equipment and resources were managed. The assessment then continued at an active operational site located in the Kampung Alor Lancang Kanga Place. Here we monitor two workers from different age groups during real-time grass cutting tasks. The purpose was to compare physical workload, posture, and the ergonomic demands between individuals. Observations were conducted around 2 p.m. during peak working hour to ensure realistic representation of their field conditions.
Okay, next I will continue with HIREC. Section 1, Activity Information and Hazard Identification. For work activity, number 1, starting grass cutter. For hazard, sharp blades, hazard classification, physical and ergonomic. For incident, cuts, laceration and amputation. Number 2, refueling. For hazard, flammable fuel and fumes. Hazard identification, chemical and ergonomic. For incident, fire, explosion, respiratory irritation. Number 3, cutting grass. For hazard, flying debris and stone. Hazard classification, physical and ergonomic. Incidents, eye injury and bruise. Number 4, manual handling. For hazard, lifting heavy equipment. For classification, ergonomic. Incident, muscle strain, back injury. Number 5, walking under sun. Hazard, heat, dehydration. Classification, physical and ergonomic. Incidents, heat stroke and fainting. Number 6, walking near traffic. Hazard, moving vehicle. Hazard classification, physical and ergonomic. Incident, hit by vehicle and psychological stress. And lastly, number 7, equipment cleaning. For hazard, contact with oil, chemical. For hazard classification, chemical and ergonomic. Incident, skin irritation and chemical burns. For the section 2, risk assessment. Existing control measures. Ensure machine is serviced regularly. Justification, minor cut possible despite control measures. L2, S3, RMN 6. Number 2, refuel in well-ventilated area. Justification, control reduce likelihood, but human error exists. L2, S4, RMN 8. Number 3, safety goggles, boots and gloves. Justification, debris still pose moderate risk. L2, S3, RMN 6. Number 4, team lifting for heavy loads. Justification, overexertion possible despite control. L2, S3, RMN 6. Number 5, wear hat, sunscreen. Justification, heat stress possible if control ignored. L2, S3, RMN 6. Number 6, use warning sign and cones. Justification, residual risk from fast-moving vehicle. L2, S4, RMN 8. 7, use of gloves and masks. Justification, chemical exposure still possible. L2, S3, RMN 6. Okay, next, for the section 3, additional controls and reassessment. For number 1, install brake guards. L1, S3, RMN 3. Person assigned, Muhammad Amirul Faiz. Notes, reduce injury risk. Number 2, use spill-proof container. L1, S4, RMN 4. By Muhammad Amirul Faiz. Notes, lower fire risk. Number 3, mandatory debris inspection before cutting. L1S3 RMN3 by Muhammad Amirul Faiz. Notes: minimize debris injuries. Number 4. Introduce mechanical aids. L1S3 RMN3 by Muhammad Amirul Faiz for reduced strain. Number 5. Mandatory hydration breaks. L1S3 RMN3 by Muhammad Amirul Faiz for heat risk minimized. Number 6. Install physical barriers. L1S4 RMN4 by Muhammad Amirul Faiz for better separation. Number 7. Switch to eco-friendly, less hazardous cleaning agents. L1S3 RMN3 by Muhammad Amirul Faiz for reduced chemical exposure.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. I'm Amir Rafiq bin Abdullah. I will talk about the initial economic risk assessment, or we call it IERA. At the first table, we can see the figure. There was us at site Taman Sri Lancang, Kanga, Perlis, to ask and interview the cutting grass workers. And then at the first table, we can see the ergonomic risk factors. We have the awkward posture, static and certain work posture, and forceful exertion, repetitive motion, vibration, and environment factors. And then for ergonomic risk factors, awkward posture, we can see the shoulder first. And for the shoulder, they doesn't use too much. Okay, next. Then we have head. So for the head, we have yes and no. So for yes, work with head bend downward more than 45 degrees, more than 2 hours per day. For your guys information, the workers is working 8 hours per day. So means they use the 45 degrees more than 2 hours, and it will be the sea and hazard to them. And then like we have back, hand, elbow, wrist, leg and knees. But by the way, for leg and knees, they doesn't use squat position and kneeling position. They just turn and just do the movement. Okay, next. Okay, so for next table, we have ergonomic risk factor, static and sustained work posture. So they have trunk, head, neck, and wrist. Then second, leg and knees. And then you can see the recommended weight for male and female. And then for the next table, we have ergonomic risk factor, forceful exertion. So this table we to recommend the weight for male, and then we current weight handle the cutting grass machine was the weight is 5 kilogram, and then we examine or exceed the limit, yes or no, it was suitable or not for them. And then for the next table, we have ergonomic risk factors, forceful exertion, manual handling. There was the table as you can see for the employer repeats operation, and weight should be reduced by 30%, 50%, and 80%. And then we have ergonomic risk factor, forceful exertion, manual handling, same, but this table is twist body posture. So 45 degree 10%, so 19 degrees 20%. Okay, so next. For ergonomic risk factor, forceful exertion, there was recommended weight for male and female. So you can see the different from male and female. And then for next you can see the ergonomic risk factors, forceful exertion. There was you can see the figure. That was recommended weight for seated position. That was a like example to show. And then for the next table, we have summary of carrying activity. As you can see, the flow surface and the other environment factors and carry distance. And next we have obstacle on road. And then summary of forceful exhaustion. You can see lifting, lowering, repetitive lifting. We will remark the summary lah for the every lifting, repetitive twisted body, repetitive lifting, pushing and pulling, handling in seated position, carrying, other forceful activity. As you can see, we get the result is number of tick 7 for yes and 1 for no. Okay, next we have ergonomic risk factor table. The repetitive motion, as you can see, neck, shoulders, elbow, wrist, hand and knee. That was for body parts. And then we get the number of the tick is 3 yes and 2 no. And then the next table we have ergonomic risk factors vibration for hand arm. We got 2 yes, more working using power tools. Work with power tools make the vibration for the hand and body. And then for next table, ergonomic risk factors, environmental factors. So for inadequate lighting, for definitely no, because they do the work at the evening, morning, so they don't do at night. And then we have extreme temperature, inadequate air ventilation or poor IAQ, and then noise exposure above PAL, and then exposed to annoying noise more than 8 hours. So and then we have number of tick 3 yes and 2 no. Next. So lastly we get initial era form. As you can see, this is the form. We have risk factor, awkward posture, static and sustained posture, forceful extension, repetition, vibration, lighting, temperature, ventilation and noise. So as you can see, the total score, there was a total score. And then the minimum required for advanced era, as you can see, above 6, above 1. And then the result of initial era, we have the result, but the doesn't have tick means the like lightning and ventilation is no for cutting grass worker. There was no problem to them. And then we can see the any pain or discomfort due to risk factor and found in MSD assessment. This you can see the neck, shoulder, upper back, lower back, elbow, hand, wrist. This part will be cause the injury or hazard to them. And then the need advanced era, as you can see, yes, majority is yes for the problem, and the no just for lighting and ventilation. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will present about the RYBA, which is Rapid Entire Body Assessment. The evaluation was applied to assess overall posture risks involving the neck, trunk, legs, arms and wrists during the task. The observation revealed that workers frequently maintain a forward bent trunk position, especially when cutting grass close to the ground. The neck was often held in a fixed position and leg posture was compromised. due to uneven terrain and slopes. In addition, the upper arms were raised and abducted, while the wrists were twisted and deviated due to gripping and maneuvering the vibrating brush cutter. These combined factors contributed to high physical stress. The final rebel score was 8, which indicates a high risk level and the need for immediate intervention. This score was primarily caused by awkward and static postures, repetitive upper body movements, and handling vibrating equipment without adequate ergonomic support or rest periods. Meanwhile, the ruler, which is rapid upper limb assessment method, was used to focus specifically on upper limb risks, such as the movement and strain in the shoulders, arms, wrists, neck, and trunk. The assessment showed that the upper arms were often lifted and stretched away from the body, while the wrists were bent and twisted repeatedly. The neck and trunk were in bent or rotated positions for extended periods without support. The wrists and shoulders were exposed to continuous repetitive motions, particularly while trimming large areas. Additionally, the muscles were held in static position and workers were handling moderate force repeatedly due to the weight and vibration of the equipment. The final ruler was 7. The final ruler score was 7, which significant a very high risk level and the urgent need to implement ergonomic changes to prevent long-term injury. However, both assessment methods, REBA and ruler, highlighted that the grass cutting job involved significant ergonomic risks. The REBA score of 8 and the ruler score of 7 both clearly indicate that the current working posture and physical demands of the job pose a high threat to musculoskeletal health. Contributing factors include awkward and static postures, repetitive tasks, forceful exertion, and prolonged exposure to environmental stressors like heat and noise. Based on this result, immediate corrective actions are required, such as adopting lighter and adjustable equipment, scheduling rest periods, introducing task rotation, and providing ergonomics training to the workers. This improvement can significantly reduce the physical burden on workers and prevent long-term injuries.
In conclusion, hazard identification, risk assessment and risk control ruler with a score of 7, RIBA with the score of 8, and the initial I-era assessment all indicates a high level of ergonomic risk in the grass cutting operation. Observation revealed awkward and sustained posture, repetitive upper limb motion, and exposure to the heat and vibration, all of which increase the likelihood of the musculoskeletal disorder. To address this issue, immediate corrective action are recommended. These include upgrading equipment and implanting scheduled rest breaks, applying job rotation, and ensuring the proper use of personal protective equipment. This can support long-term worker well-being and productivity.